Cowboys open up against the Panthers. Who will Dak Prescott be throwing the ball to that afternoon? It won't be Jason Witten, and it won't be Des Bryant. They'll have a new receiving core in Dallas with a whole new set of expectations. Cowboys receiver Deontay Thompson had this to say, quote, "I'm excited to be in a group of guys who are hungry and want to prove the world wrong. I don't really have too much social media stuff, so I barely hear it. But we know what they say. But we'll be having this discussion in November, and it will be totally different." All right, CC, I'll start with you. How much do the Cowboys need from their receivers to be successful this year?
Oh, here we go. Watch Chris Carter get another group of wide receivers in the NFL mad at him. I've been doing this for years.
And, did it start with Seattle and Doug Baldwin, or did something?
It's been long before. It's been long before. Even back to T.O. when T.O. was opposite of Jerry Rice, I didn't know who he was, and T.O. took that as a personal indictment.
Is that where that started?
Yeah, because I didn't know who he was. I didn't know he was going to be a Hall of Famer.
It's not your fault, CC.
No,
not your fault.
I thought J.J. Stokes was going to be the best young receiver on that team back then.
Absolutely, so did they.
All right, so let's add another to the list. Here we go.
And I laugh about this is because I bump into Julian Edelman and I asked him about his knee being repaired and everything. He said things are going well and everything. I told him, man, I really respect your game, respect you as a player, how you've developed and everything. He's like, yeah, you know, I like you on TV, but I gotta be truthful with you. Didn't always like you. And I was like, why? He's like, oh, man, I used to hear you. You used to tell me, you know, I was just a quarterback playing slot receiver and everything. And I was like, well, where was I wrong? He was like, you know, people just don't believe in you. I said, what was I supposed to believe in? What had you done? He was like, no, you know, I just used it as motivation. You're a great wide receiver, and I just really wanted you to say great things about me. And I said, listen, man, it's a trade-off here. I'm going to be on TV, okay? Do something great. I'll say something great about you.
Awesome.
All right, Deontay Thompson, I've been watching him since high school.
Right.
Okay? Belle Glaze, the University of Florida. Like, he's been a role player even at the University of Florida, let alone in the National Football League. So I don't care what they read on social media. I don't care what this is what the underdog role is all about. Oh, they don't believe in us. You know, if you're undersized, how am I supposed to believe in you? If you've been a backup, how am I supposed to believe? If you've never had a 1,000-yard season, how am I supposed to believe? They have a bunch of guys who are misfits, and now they don't have a lead dog. They don't have a number one receiver. None of these guys is a number one receiver. That's not my fault. That's Dallas's fault. Now, will these guys try to come together as a group and collectively get it done? Yeah, you can do that. When you got Tom Brady, you can do that. When you got Aaron Rodgers, when you got some of the greater throwers, we don't see this happen. Unnamed guys being able to duplicate productivity that we see with big name guys.
In that unit.
No. Only when you have one of the top 5 passers in the league do we see you able to get away with that.
Listen, I think you're being a little unfair, Deontay Thompson. 77 catches, 1,032 yards. Oh, that's not last year. That's his 6-year career. My bad. No, you're being totally
so it's my fault. yeah, you're right.
Please, listen, you're totally correct that sometimes out of nowhere, oh my God, Julius Thomas. Nobody knew about him. He's one of the best tight ends in football. Oh, that's when he was paired up with Peyton Manning. Like Wes Welker. The Dolphins didn't even want him. Like and now he's has 4 straight amazing seasons. Oh, he was paired up with Tom Brady and then Peyton Manning. Like there are guys that you can come out of nowhere and all of a sudden you only ask them to do what they're best at. They are always put in a position to succeed. Something you taught me that I love. The ball speaks to them. Yes. So wherever the ball is passed, this is an important note for whether you're talking about Cole Beasley or Terrence Williams or Allen Hurns, a benefit I don't think any of these guys have really ever had in their career, and I don't know that they'll have this year with Dak, which is when you are playing with a great quarterback and a ball is thrown to a certain place, what it tells you, as opposed to when you're not playing with a great quarterback and the ball might be thrown to a certain place because he was off. Explain what the ball speaking to you means, because that's one of the reasons these under-skilled guys can turn into the best versions of themselves.
Right, the ball speaks to them and makes them better because it lets them know what the coverage is and it lets them know where the other defenders on the field are. Say you have a shallow cross. You have a guy in your face, man-to-man. You go up underneath him. The quarterback throws the ball in front of you. You think it's man-to-man, but the guy could have jammed you and dropped off. All right? But the quarterback throwing it in front of you, he lets you know there's green grass in front of you. It's probably going to be man-to-man. If the quarterback throws the ball at your back shoulder, it's like, watch out, man. You got heavy artillery in front of you. Slow yourself down and go back the other way. So a great quarterback, it does help unknown. It does help guys who have been number 3s, number 4 receivers trying to come together. And I've only been wrong about this one time. And that was the Seattle Seahawks. And that was because of Doug Baldwin. Doug Baldwin made me wrong. I said they were just ordinary guys. They were just role players. But Doug Baldwin stepped up his game. Now, as a group, they were very effective as a group, being on a running team, a lot like Dallas, with a young quarterback. They proved me to be wrong. And Doug Baldwin knows it. I apologize to him. Doug Baldwin went on to become a Pro Bowl receiver.
Right.
Which one of these guys is going to step up and be the Doug Baldwin to make me wrong?
So there's 2 ways they can work in Dallas. One, if they succeed as the underdog receiving corps and somehow a bunch of no-names are going to come together and become this unit that no one expected. Or 2, Dak Prescott has to come out and have a lights-out year in year 3. Do we expect that to happen?
Well, to the Doug Baldwin thing, just quickly, he became a better player, but also I would imagine part of your analysis baked into that was you didn't think at the time Seattle had a Tom Brady at quarterback. And Russell Wilson ain't Tom Brady, but man, he's turned into an amazing, to me, a top 5 quarterback in this league.
Yes, absolutely. And he made that jump from a running defensive team to now I'm the guy.
Right.
You can back me up 40 times, 50 times, and you can win doing that.
And so I don't know, to answer your question, I don't see that type of leap coming from Dak. Like Russell Wilson to me is a top 5 quarterback in this league. Right now, Dak's fighting to become a top 15 quarterback in this league. It's an enormous jump to go from there to there. Because even Russell Wilson's first year, second year, third year, you could see some flashes of it. The reason this is going to be so hard for Dallas is you talk all the time about every number 2 wants to be a number 1. Every number 3 wants to be a number 2.
Yes.
I look at Dallas. I think Allen Hurns a legitimate number 2 receiver.
Yes.
You don't have to be their number 1. Everyone else on this team is a 4. Right? Like, their number 2 is going to have to be their number 1. And Cole Beasley is an excellent 4th receiver. You can deal with it as your 3rd receiver. Terrence Williams, be an excellent 4th receiver. He can be a 3rd receiver.
Yeah, you can't have him as no damn designated driver, though.
No, you can't have that. That's a fair point. I didn't expect that one. Deontay Thompson has been a 6th receiver.
Barely making NFL roster.
But if you add all those up, what number do you get?
Oh, that's not quite how that math works.
Oh, okay.
So
that's not how it works?
So,
okay, I wasn't sure.
So what's the path? So what is the path to the Cowboys in your eyes having a great offense?
They have to be outstanding running the football. They have to be outstanding from a turnover standpoint. They have to be amazing defense, winning the turnover margin. And this is what this wide receiver group, what they want to be. They want to be dependable. They want to generate first downs and generate big plays and touchdowns in the red zone. All right, now, if I can get 2 out of those 3, if they can be very, very dependable, moving the chains on 3rd down, and if they can either be great with the deep ball, I'm talking about passes over 20-yard, explosive passes, which they haven't been good at, or just be outstanding in the red zone. That's what the Dallas Cowboys needs from this wide receiving corps.
And of all those things, the running game we know is probably locked in, and maybe the defense is. So there's a lot of questions still to be answered in Dallas. All right, we'll take a break. Coming up, Chris Broussard joins us to discuss how the Rockets were able to take down the Warriors next.